Hi, my name is Robin Wong. I'm a photographer based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I have here with me the Canon 5D Classic full frame. In this video, I want to share 10 reasons why I love this dinosaur camera. Let's do this! For those of you who have been following this channel, you realize that I've been exploring different camera options recently. I've got the Fuji X100F, the Pentax K01, the Nikon D50, and of course, this Canon 5D full frame. I got all this cheap at the used market, and it's been fun exploring different cameras, trying out different things outside of the realm of Micro Four Thirds. Don't worry, Micro Four Thirds system, the Olympus OMD gear, has always been my main workhorse whenever I do my professional jobs, and even when I'm filming this YouTube video. So I'm free to explore other cameras. I am a photographer. I love all cameras. I'm curious about other camera options, and of all these different options I've got, the one that I come back to again and again, the one that I want to reach out to and pick up whenever I do shutter therapy to do my own personal projects, just to go out and have fun taking photographs, the one camera is this Canon 5D full frame. There are reasons why I love this Canon 5D full frame, and I want to share them in this video. Reason number one, Canon Colors. That's right, as stereotypical as that sounds, I really love Canon Colors. I'll go as far as to say that Canon Colors is better than Olympus Colors in some situations. Especially skin tone rendering, there is something very realistic, very pleasing, very natural about Canon, how they render skin tone. I'm not saying that all camera colors other than Canon, they are bad, but if you really look at what Sony, Panasonic, some of these other camera manufacturers are doing, there's just something wrong with the color science. No matter how you tweak the raw files, no matter how you edit the colors, they just don't come out as good as Canon. And Canon got their color science right from the beginning. This is a 17-year-old camera, and the colors that come from the camera, straight out of the camera JPEG even, I have no issue using it straight away without any editing. There's just something so beautiful about Canon Colors, and I think that's the main reason why I love this Canon 5D so much. Reason number two, cheap lenses. I got myself 3 lenses for this Canon 5D, 35 f2, 50 f1.8, and a Yongnuo, a third-party lens, a Yongnuo 85 f1.8. All these lenses together, they cost about 1,000 ringgit. That's about $200 US. To me, the price of 3 lenses for $200 US, that's really cheap. And there is this thrill of owning cheap lenses. Yes, these lenses may not be the best performing lenses out there, and I admit, my Micro Four Thirds lenses, the Olympus lenses especially, they are sharper, they are smaller, optically they are superior, they give me better bokeh. I'm talking about the quality of the blur in terms of technical flow control, like flare, chromatic aberration. The Micro Four Thirds lenses are more optimized and superior, but these are really cheap lenses, and they have autofocus, and they still render beautiful images despite all the flaws, despite all the problems. I still get some fantastic files out of this 17-year-old dinosaur camera. And these 3 lenses, 35 f2, 50 f1.8, 85 f1.8, I can do almost anything that I want for my personal projects, for my shutter therapy with them. Reason number 3, solid build quality. This Canon 5D was constructed like a tank. The fact that it is 17 years old and still rocking on, there is completely zero issues with this camera. I can go out, take photographs, it still works 100% fine. It still delivers fantastic results. It's a testament to the build quality. It's a testament that this camera is well constructed and it lasts so long without any issue whatsoever. Reason number 4, shallow depth of field. Being a full frame camera, even a very old one, a dinosaur Canon 5D from 17 years ago. It is still a full frame camera and it can blur the background so much more effectively compared to, say, Micro Four Thirds system. For example, this 100 ringgit or $20 50 f1.8. You can create blurrier backgrounds than, say, the Olympus 25 f1.2 Pro lens, which costs about 6,000 ringgit or $1,500 US. $20 lens versus a more than $1,000 lens. And this tiny lens here can render blurrier background. Of course, blur background is not everything, bokeh is not everything, and it's not fair to compare a 50 f1.8 budget lens versus a pro lens, the 25 f1.2, which is wider sealed, it is optically superior and everything. But I'm just saying, this cheap lens here, a $20 lens, I can render blurrier background, and there is something, the advantage that I can get from this Canon 5D. Reason number 5, fast autofocus and general camera response. Do not underestimate this old camera from 17 years ago. Yes, it is the first generation Canon DSLR camera, but the autofocus is so fast and so reliable. I'm more confident using this Canon 5D versus even the Fuji X100F, which I do have and use extensively. And that says a lot. There's more than 15 years gap in terms of technology, and yet this Canon 5D still delivers results, and I'm still really impressed by what this camera can do. And every time I do shutter therapy, my street photography adventures, I need to nail that critical moment, that decisive moment. This Canon 5D, of all the cameras that I have now, of course I'm talking outside of the Micro Four Thirds option, say the Pentax K01, the Fuji X100F, the Nikon D50, and several other cameras, this Canon 5D is still the one that is the one I'm more confident using. Reason number 6, image quality. Although this Canon 5D only has 12 megapixels, but trust me, this dinosaur camera still beats any flagship smartphone cameras out there today in 2022. Yes, some flagship smartphones has like 64 megapixels, 100 megapixels. The number of pixels are useless. It is per pixel quality that truly matters. And I will take these 12 megapixel files, the dynamic range is still better, the high ISO performance is still better, the color tonality is still better, per pixel quality it is optimized, and it is still a full frame file. I understand and I acknowledge that comparing to even today's Micro Four Thirds files, anything from Olympus or Panasonic, it will already far surpass what this Canon 5D can do. And of course, any modern full frame cameras from any mirrorless cameras from Sony, even Canon themselves, they have much better cameras today than this Canon 5D. And there's really no reason to go this far back. But I'm still very happy with what 12 megapixels can do. To me, 12 megapixels is more than enough for my personal projects, for my street photography. And 12 megapixels, trust me, is still a lot. And today, not a lot of people have 4K screen. And if you view these images on 4K screen, it is still plenty of pixels to spare. Reason number 7, rotating dial control and the joystick. I found that these two controls are quite unique to Canon and they are available in some other camera options out there. But having these two controls, the rotating dial at the back of the camera and the joystick, it somehow just works. The rotating dial acts like a wheel to quickly navigate between the images, especially when you're previewing in playback. It is so easy and so fun to use. And the joystick just makes sense to control autofocus points. And this is already available in this dinosaur camera from 17 years ago. Of course, I can see this being implemented in some modern cameras. I'm just saying, I'm very happy using this joystick and rotating dial in this Canon 5D. Reason number 8, Beefy Grip. There is just something about DSLRs, and it's not unique to Canon 5D. Having a larger size, it is easier to fit in a larger hand gripping area, and it really helps in handling. I really treasure the substantial grip, so much more for the fingers to wrap around and squeeze in. I think it just gives you that sense of stability, sense of confidence when you're handling the camera. I admit that the Canon 5D is not the best camera when it comes to handling and ergonomics. I gotta say, of all the cameras that I've handled before, the best cameras are EM1 Mark II or the EM1 Mark III from Olympus. I'm not being biased here, I'm no longer an ambassador. I'm just saying I'm really comfortable and I really love the hand gripping area of this EM1 Mark II and EM1 Mark III. But having said that, these cameras are not small cameras, and there's a price to pay when you downsize the camera, especially when it comes to mirrorless cameras. So the smaller the camera is, the worse the handling suffers. And there's just something about this handling of DSLRs. There's just so much better, so much more confident, and so much more comfortable to hold. Reason number 9, Optical Viewfinder. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of electronic viewfinder, and I think that electronic viewfinder is the future. I acknowledge the benefits that the electronic viewfinder brings. What you see is what you get. It's so much easier to compose on a large electronic viewfinder, seeing the results even before you press the shutter button. It's to make adjustments to the camera, you see it live, and it's just so much more convenient, and it's a fail-proof method for photography, and it's important especially if you are a professional photographer. Having said all that, having acknowledged all that, sometimes I still love the feeling of using the optical viewfinder. The great thing about optical viewfinder is you're seeing exactly what your eyes are seeing through the camera. It's a reflection of the real world. And sometimes that is more comfortable, and sometimes that's better than seeing a digital screen. And to me, there's just something organic and natural about optical viewfinder that cannot be replaced by an electronic viewfinder. Reason number 10, shutter sound. I know this is so subjective, and I acknowledge the importance of electronic shutter or silent shutter where absolute silence is necessary. Say that when you're shooting a piano recital, you don't want your camera clacking away while people are playing piano in that silent auditorium. Or if you're shooting a golf tournament, right? You need absolute silence where the golf professional players need to really concentrate on their swing, and you don't want your camera to be clacking away. You will be chased out of that golf course immediately. And having said all that, I really acknowledge that shutter sound doesn't add any value to photography, it doesn't improve your picture quality, but there's just something so organic about this mechanical mirror slapping, shutter clacking. It just feels so natural. It just makes it feel like a real camera. It just makes it a little bit more enjoyable hearing the shutter clack every time I press the shutter button. That's all I have to share, my 10 reasons why I love this dinosaur Canon 5D full frame. At the end of the day, what truly matters is if you enjoy shooting with the camera that you have. In this case, I've enjoyed shooting with this Canon 5D tremendously for my shutter therapy sessions and for my personal projects. And I foresee myself shooting more and more with this Canon 5D, and I will enjoy to do so. And I will share even more photographs from these future sessions with you guys here in this channel. If you have enjoyed looking at my photographs, if you have benefited from my sharing, please consider buying me a cup of coffee, or you can contribute directly to my PayPal. Links in description below on how you can do that. Any small contribution goes a long way, will definitely help me to continue making content. I'll take more photographs and share them right here in this channel. Please give me thumbs up, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll definitely see you again in the next one. Until then, remember to go out and take more photographs.